Welcome to episode 3, Sin is Overhyped Morality. Are you prepared for mind-provoking thoughts on morality and how it tames your killer monkey? Great. First, we're going to play around in the 7 deadly sins, and if we survive, we'll whip ourselves into obedience to avoid becoming dirty again. Let's begin, but this time with a game. Hello, it's Judgment Day and the release of killer monkeys is upon us. Your salvation depends upon your next choice, so listen very closely. You have to pick one killer monkey out of the 7 that I'm about to describe. Choose the correct monkey, and you might just get lucky and survive. Now, presenting the 7 deadly beasts. Coming in strong with a big shiny ego is killer monkey number 1, pride. It's accomplished so much, believes itself to be the best out there because no one is smarter, more aware, or better than itself. Killer monkey number 2, greed. This killer beast has an insatiable appetite for more, and it'll gladly take all that it can from any unsuspecting victim. Beast number 3, looking as tempting as ever, is lust. This beast's cravings are too strong. It needs you. It wants you. It's all it can think about. It's in so much pain without your touch. Oh, and look at this killer monkey. Coming in 4th is envy, a beast with vicious teeth clenched in jealousy. Suppressing its emotions only makes this beast stronger. It secretly desires a need to be like that, a need to possess what the other beasts have. And now, the biggest killer monkey of them all. Number 5, gluttony. Can you hear it? It says, feed me, and feed me some more. I can consume more than I need. The taste of sugar, fat, and salt makes this monkey an unstoppable force. Number 6, a strong and powerful killer monkey. Wrath. Angry and outraged and a warpath this beast is on. I wouldn't want to stand in this monkey's way. It will kill and destroy anything that comes near. Watch out. Watch out. And last and certainly least, killer monkey number 7, sloth. It can but won't move. It's lazy, unproductive, and a waste of space. It refuses to work and relies on others to carry it through. You get this beast for free, and hope it doesn't slow you down. It's time to release your killer monkeys. Good luck. I hope you survive. Chapter 1, Sin Defined in Different Ways. Sin is defined in many ways in religion and spirituality, and it also has deep roots in morality and culture. Let's discuss the most common views of sin and universalize it so we can all get some sin. The definition of sin is a transgression or wrongful act against divine supreme law. I said obey. Sin is an integral and foundational pillar of Christianity. But not all religions adopt the seriousness of sin as a way to avoid eternal damnation, like Christianity, but rather sin is regarded as a moral obligation to enhance the character within a specific religion. So let's discuss sin and its importance in Christianity, and then segue into a spiritual perspective, and then perhaps do a little dance with philosophy. As previously mentioned, sin is a foundational belief in Christianity. See, the original sin or the fall of man is a deep debate amongst theologians. It's a debate because original sin, which is adopted by Catholicism, is the belief that every human is born flawed or has a supernatural quote-unquote stain that came from Adam and Eve when they were naughty monkeys and they ate the forbidden fruit of knowledge in the Garden of Eden. Other sections of Christianity view sin as breaking a commandment, doing something that God said not to do, or it can even be seen as not accepting Jesus as your personal Lord and Savior. Whether a Christian believes in original sin or an accumulated sin, there is a hope associated with sin, because sin provides an openness for divine cleanliness and a purification, usually done in the form of symbolic rituals like baptism, confession, and a profession of faith. And these rituals done within Christianity are a very important part to rid a person from original sin or accumulated a sin, because the more accumulated sin that you have from living a sinful lifestyle that you do, the more likely that you'll end up in hell upon death. And nobody wants that. See, sin is a very important part in Christianity. But we can also look at sin in a slightly different meaning when we're talking about sin in context of spirituality. So sin in spirituality is most commonly used as a metaphor for darkness or shadow aspect of the self, since sin has a way to provoke heavy emotions. The shadow can include repressed emotions and unhelpful behaviors and thoughts that were adopted through handed down information found in religion, spirituality, and education. See, spirituality suggests that it's okay to replace religiously defined sin with a personal moral system that can be used as a guidance when determining what is right and what is wrong. But there is still a bit of vagueness of who and how to determine what is right and wrong, because it's still a debate amongst spiritualists, and that's where philosophy comes in. Sin in philosophy is simply morality, and the remedy is to sit around, smoke cigars, and stroke our beards while talking about the disillusionment of morality and society, all while hoping a truth arises out of such big brain discussions. Don't worry, we'll dance more with philosophy later, but now I think there's a message about the killer monkeys coming through.
Incoming message.
Hello? Can you hear me? This is Virtue. I volunteered to assassinate the killer monkeys, and I'll give you updates along the way. It's not looking good. It's rough out here, and we're doing the best that we can. The good news is that the orb of humility killed pride, and gratitude overpowered envy. But there's a bigger problem. Once a killer monkey dies, its powers embody the rest of the monkeys. They began turning on each other. The ropes of chastity are barely containing lust, and I'm concerned about greed. It's already recruited sloth and gluttony, and this trio is becoming a strong force. Wrath is still being unreasonable, and it refuses to slow down. It feels so heavy watching the madness unfold. I shouldn't have volunteered to do away with the killer monkeys. I had no idea they would turn and just become more powerful as one of them dies. It's all my fault. I'm a screw-up.
Guilt. Humans have a big problem with sin. You dirty humans can't seem to stay out of it. No matter how hard you repress those urges and confess your fall into temptation, you still struggle keeping yourselves clean. You're terrible role models. Sometimes our inner demons take over and transform us into killer monkeys. We develop addictions, we become obsessed with pleasure, and we can't muffle the screams from our ego that shouts, "What about me?" The negative voice inside screams how unworthy, messed up, and fucked up we become because, well, we couldn't stay clean. We sinned, we relapse, we made a mistake. It feels embarrassing, and we become afraid to confess. Our relationships with others may dissolve, and we have to deal with the consequences of losing trust, whether from others or divinity. When the heaviness of sin creates a feeling of distance from God, an emotional process of guilt begins to brew. The emotional agony can be so overpowering that it provokes an individual to seek refuge in God. Other individuals may seek to replace their guilt with peace through introspection into their personal shadows, or may attempt practical measures like seeking guidance from a therapist, or simply surrender to an uncontrollable biological sensation of emotion. Whatever your preferred method is on dealing with sin, or however you even define sin, one thing is certain: it's pointless to dwell in it. So make sure you take care of the emotional process of guilt in ways that benefit you.
Incoming message.
Hello, it's Virtues again, and I have an update. Good news, after a little rest and reevaluating our strategy, we were able to take down 3 more monkeys. The ropes of chastity sliced lust to death. Wrath was taken down by patience, who knew the right time to strike, and diligence with its persistence was able to capture sloth. So there's only gluttony and greed left, but they become a powerful duo. Gluttony's consumption is making greed stronger and stronger, and I don't think it'll be satisfied until it eats it all. But wait, something's happening. It's gluttony, and it's purging everything. I'm sending out temperance with a small window to strike and kill gluttony. That did it. Gluttony is dead, but oh no. Greed is all that's left, and it has the strength of all 7 beasts. My only weapon left is the whips of charity made from the cries of the poor and unfortunate spirits. This is my last hope. Wish me luck. And that did it. I assassinated all the killer monkeys with the weapons of virtue. All that remains is humility, charity, chastity, gratitude, temperance, patience, and diligence. But what is that on the horizon? It's morality rising.
Morality rising and the illusion of morality. If you became deeply curious about the truth of morality, you'd probably be shocked at its illusionary existence. But don't let that fool you. There's a program running and morality is under its thumb. It's important business, sorting out what is right and wrong, good and bad, the should and shouldn'ts for billions of people to follow. Some people see morality as an integral force in communities to maintain peace and order so a species can advance socially. Others see morality as just a tool used by elitists in a society to advance their own self-interest, through imposing their idea of morality onto the lesser force. But don't decide to go on a mission and wake up the sheep just yet. I'm going to show you that your desire to do that is driven by your own self-interest and self-preservation. Let me ask you a question. What keeps you from robbing a bank right now? What makes not robbing a bank moral, righteous, or the correct thing to do? Obviously, the legality of it, the lives that it impacts, being thrown in prison, unwanted emotional distress, bad reputation, and so forth. You see, restraint or personal morality is sometimes viewed as selfish or a selfish way to control our emotions and preserve our positions in a society. See, even though we may not agree with certain moral laws, we are still bound by them because we need to preserve our lives, our jobs, our relationships, our reputation, resources for survival, and etc., etc. And taking a stand to spread, convert, or inform your personal views on what is correct or incorrect is also rooted in your self-interest because of the social, spiritual, physical, or mental rewards you receive for aligning to your subjective truth. It's great to think that because you're a moral character and consider the lives of others, that others will behave in the same way, but that's false. Because it's the same egoic process of control, self-interest, and self-preservation that you're aligning with when you choose to go against something that you do not agree with. Let's not kid ourselves and ignore the fact that killer monkeys exist in all of us. We're all killer monkeys under the influence of morality because morality stems from selfishness. Part of the human experience is identifying those monkeys within and without and dealing with them appropriately. Sometimes it is best to control the killer monkey, and sometimes it's best to align with it. It truly is based in your self-interest and whatever preserves your ego self in the moment. And it's not that the creation of sin or morality was done to make prisoners in a society. It was done to maintain order so we could develop as a species with respect for each other instead of taking advantage of each other. And if humanity lost that, we'd all be unstoppable killer monkeys. We'd turn on each other very, very quickly, especially when resources become scarce because, well, that's what we already do. People run to social media to voice their objection to morality. They also riot and protest to further push their personal agenda against an already established agenda. It's the game of morality that humanity is unknowingly playing with each other. And the funny thing is morality is always changing because of the needs of the society are always changing. So if a law was passed that you find upsetting, remember, it's only a matter of time before it changes again. Welcome to the reflection part of this episode where I kind of share my thoughts and some motivations behind the episode that you just listened to. So the killer monkey reference comes from Ra Uru, who is the founder messenger of the Human Design System, and he uses the term killer monkeys as a way to describe humanity and possibly a prediction of things to come. And then, of course, the 7 killer monkeys, the titles come from the 7 deadly sins and the 7 virtues, who ultimately overpower the 7 deadly sins as found in Catholicism. And hopefully I gave you a glimpse into the illusionary existence of morality. And if you're interested to learn more about me, you can follow me on my socials, and DesireeClements.com will always be the updated hub of what I'm currently working on. You're awesome. Thanks for listening to the end, and I'll see you in the future. Signing off, Desiree.